Mark Carter never imagined that one exhausted mistake at midnight would turn into the most terrifying and life-changing 48 hours of his life. He was a single dad, broke, overworked, overloaded, and surviving on pure caffeine and guilt. His daughter Lily needed medication again, the pharmacy was closing, and he had been on the verge of tears for an hour. While sending a frustrated message to his co-worker, Jacob, about the project he couldn't finish, his phone glitched, filled in a strange contact, and sent it before he could stop it. The message went straight to the CEO. He didn't notice until morning, and when he did, his heart stopped. The CEO wasn't just any CEO, she was Elena Hartman, the coldest, smartest, most feared woman in the entire company. She didn't tolerate mistakes. She didn't tolerate excuses. And she definitely didn't tolerate emotional midnight messages from low-level tech workers blaming the world for not caring that they were single dads. He waited for the termination email all morning, but none came. Instead, around noon, the basement server door opened and sharp, echoing heel steps cut through the silence. No one wore heels in this part of the building. No one important came down here, ever. But the steps approached anyway, steady and deliberate. Mark looked up. The CEO stood in the doorway, framed by the buzzing fluorescent light, wearing a coat that probably cost more than his entire year's salary. Her hair was pinned perfectly. Her eyes were like polished steel. She was out of place in the dusty, humming server room, yet she looked as if she owned the air itself. "You're Mark Carter," she said, not asked. His throat dried. "Ma'am, I'm sorry for the message. It wasn't meant for you. It was just. I was tired and—" "I know," she said, stepping inside. The click of her heels echoed like a countdown. "But I drove here because of it." "Drove here?" he repeated stupidly. "Why?" "Because no one who works for me should feel invisible." She stopped in front of him, eyes scanning him with unsettling sharpness. "No one should believe their struggles don't matter, including single parents." Mark stared. He wasn't used to kindness, especially not from someone like her. But her face wasn't soft. It was tense, controlled, as if kindness wasn't something she naturally knew how to express. Then she did something impossibly shocking. She sat on the dusty metal chair in the corner, ignoring the grime. "Sit," she said softly. He obeyed. Her eyes lowered. "Tell me about your daughter." He hadn't planned on telling her anything personal, but something about her tone, quiet, urgent, almost begging, pulled the truth out of him. He told her about Lily's asthma, the nights spent in ER, the medical bills he couldn't pay, the guilt of working too much and still never earning enough, the exhaustion that never left his bones. Elena listened without blinking. When he finished, she leaned back, exhaling slowly. "You should have come to HR. They don't care," he said. "I care," she said. Two words said with such certainty they didn't seem real. Then her expression sharpened. "Show me your work." He led her to his cluttered desk, his handwritten system scripts, his custom hardware fixes. She scanned everything quickly but precisely, and he kept catching soft exclamations under her breath, admiration, disbelief. "Why are you in tech support?" she asked. "Because nobody asked me to do more. I'm asking now." He had no idea what that meant, but before he could process any of it, her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and her entire expression changed. Fear. Sharp and raw. She put the phone away immediately and stood. "We're leaving." His stomach dropped. "Leaving where?" "Your apartment." He almost laughed. "Ma'am, no, you don't have to." "I must," she said tightly. "Now." She walked out, and he followed because he didn't know what else to do. Employees stared in confusion as they passed. Outside, she opened the door to a sleek black sedan and ordered him inside. He obeyed. Elena drove fast, too fast. Her hands were steady, but her jaw was tight. "Are you okay?" Mark finally asked. For a long moment she didn't reply. Then she whispered, "Someone dangerous resurfaced this morning. Someone from my past. I can't go home." His pulse quickened. "Dangerous how?" "The kind of man who destroys everything he touches," she said. "The kind who doesn't understand the word no. The kind who took something from me that I can never replace." He didn't know what to say. "You think I came to see your daughter," Elena said quietly. "But the truth is, I came because of mine. Cold washed through his chest. You have a daughter? She nodded painfully. Had. She disappeared 5 years ago. The world tilted. He felt like he'd stepped into a story that wasn't his. When they reached his apartment, she followed him upstairs. Lily was sleeping on the couch, small chest rising unevenly. Elena froze at the sight, hands trembling. She knelt beside Lily and whispered, "She looks like my daughter did the night before she disappeared." A chilling silence followed. Then footsteps sounded outside, the slow, heavy kind that didn't belong. Eleanor's face paled. He followed me. Mark grabbed her arm instinctively, pulling her behind him. The footsteps stopped right outside the door. A masculine voice spoke, muffled, cold, deliberate. "Elena, open the door." She shook her head violently, eyes wide with terror. He tried the knob. Locked. The man on the other side exhaled. "You know I don't like chasing you." Mark whispered, "Who is he?" "My ex-husband," she whispered. "The one who took our daughter." A chair scraped. Someone trying to sit on Patience. Then a quiet threat, "Open the door or I break it." Mark grabbed a kitchen knife, stood in front of Lily. Elena grabbed the phone, but before she could dial, it buzzed, an unknown message flashing across the screen. She read it and her knees nearly buckled. It was a picture of a little girl, her daughter, alive, holding today's newspaper. Elena gasped, hand over her mouth. He has her. He has her right now. Mark felt sick. What does he want? He wants control, she whispered. He wants me back under him, and he wants me alone, terrified, weak. She stepped back from the door as the man outside jiggled the knob harder. If she makes noise, he hissed through the crack, you'll never see her again. Then footsteps retreated down the hall. He wasn't leaving. He was waiting and watching. Elena collapsed on the sofa, shaking. Mark knelt in front of her. We're calling the police. No. She grabbed his wrist. If the police show up, he'll disappear with her again. You can't face him alone. I won't. She met his eyes, desperate but fierce. You're going to help me. His world tilted again, but he nodded because he couldn't. Imagine saying no to that kind of terror in someone's eyes. They waited in silence while Lily slept. When night fell, Elena explained her plan. Her ex kept their daughter hidden in a rotating pattern across 3 abandoned properties he owned. Before she divorced him, she tracked one location. Through hidden financial activity, this morning, the reason she'd been about to go there before Mark's accidental message appeared and saved her from walking into a trap. At 2 a.m., they left Lily with a trusted neighbor, and Eleanor led Mark through old storage yards, overgrown lots, and dark industrial buildings. They found the place, an old warehouse, rusty metal, cracked windows, a flickering light inside. They approached quietly. Through an opening they saw him, Elena's ex-husband, and beside him, tied to a chair, a small girl with terrified eyes, her daughter. Slow breaths, slow steps. Elena squeezed Mark's hand. A silent thank you, a silent plea. Mark moved first. He slipped inside through the shadows, while Elena circled toward the front to draw attention. Her ex turned toward her, startled. How did you find this place? He shouted. Elena stepped inside, fearless now. Let her go. She's staying with me, he hissed. No, Mark said behind him. He spun around, too late. Mark lunged, knocking the man backward. They fought, hard, brutal, crashing against metal crates. The man grabbed a pipe, swinging wildly. Mark ducked, grabbed his wrist, twisted, and slammed him into a beam. Elena rushed to her daughter, cutting her free. The girl cried out, Mommy! And Elena held her tight, sobbing silently. The ex staggered up, furious, but Mark stood between him and the reunited family, knife in hand. Come any closer, he growled, and you'll regret it. Sirens wailed outside. The neighbor had called the police anyway. The man cursed, tried to run, but officers surrounded the building. He was arrested on the spot. Elena collapsed to her knees, daughter in her arms, the weight of 5 years of grief falling. Away all at once. Mark stood beside them, chest heaving. When the police finished, when paramedics checked the girl, when everything calmed, Elena walked to Mark quietly. Her daughter held her hand. You saved us, Elena whispered. I just did what anyone... No, she said firmly. Not anyone, you. She stepped closer, eyes soft, vulnerable, nothing like the CEO who first walked into that server room. "Come with us," she said. "Don't go back to that basement job. Work with me. Help me rebuild. Help me raise her in a world that won't hurt her." Mark swallowed hard. "Are you sure?" Elena nodded. "You messaged me by mistake, Mark. But nothing about what happened after that was a mistake." Her daughter looked up at him with wide, hopeful eyes. And for the first time in years, Mark felt like he wasn't alone. He took Elena's hand, and everything changed.